Hi, my name is Dara Denney, and my Teachable school is called the Performance Creative Accelerator. My niche is paid social advertising. So I teach people how to create Facebook ads and TikTok ads that convert. Some of my students are just starting out, and some of my students have multi-million-dollar businesses. And currently I sell a course called the Performance Creative Master Course. And I have over 325 current students. I originally started my business because I wanted to create content for the person I was when I first started off in advertising. There really wasn't anyone showing the inside of ad accounts and showing how to make creatives that convert, and I wanted to be that person. And of course, there was something for me in it as well. I really wanted to advance my career quicker than if I wasn't creating content. So essentially, I was leveraging my YouTube channel to get higher paying jobs. I decided to create my course after being on YouTube for over 3 years. And ultimately, the big push that got me there was I decided to quit my job, and I wanted to be able to make a reoccurring and passive income. But I wanted the product that I put out to be something that I was really proud of. Also, my audience begged for a course for literally years. The reason why I chose Teachable is because I really felt like they were made for creators. The backend was really simple for me too, which was a huge priority. I created my entire course within 60 days. Everything from outlining the course, scripting, filming, producing it, and editing. I did everything myself, and I did it on a time crunch. And when I looked at the back end of Teachable, I thought, okay, I understand this immediately. It's super intuitive. But then when I saw what the final product actually looked like for the students, I was like, this is super sleek. And I was sold. The toughest part about starting my own business was just beginning. Initially, when I first started making content, I was so worried about what other people thought of me, what my friends and family thought about what I was doing. And you're really putting yourself out there. It's a huge mental barrier. And when I quit my job and decided to go out on my own, the toughest part was honestly just taking the plunge. I had so much advice from people telling me to make sure you build up a book of clients, make sure your course sells X amount before quitting the job. I didn't end up doing that. I ended up taking a leap and quitting my job before I actually launched the course. I had this feeling that I knew it was going to work, and it did. The most rewarding thing about starting my business is I feel like I have a big impact. Whether or not it's a small mom and shop who's just deciding to start up Facebook ads and they start seeing those first few sales coming in, or it's a multi-million-dollar business who's gaining efficiency, both of those things are equally rewarding for me. And I think it's so empowering when people realize, wow, I can actually utilize this platform and begin to grow my business. It's empowering for them, and I love being a part of that journey. My biggest piece of advice for anyone who wants to start a digital product is to think about who you were a few years ago and make the product for that person. I think a lot of times people try to be too clever with their offering, or they try to do tons and tons of research, and it actually stops them from building. And I really think the big hack here is create your offering who you were a few years ago and think about really all the things that went into you becoming who you are now, and then launch it. I think so many people get tied up in the research and making sure that everything's perfect. And to be honest, my course is so far from perfect, but it's had a huge impact on my students. Something that surprises people about my career is I actually started off my career as a humanitarian. I lived in West Africa, in South Asia, and even in the Middle East for 4 or 5 years. And the reason why I ultimately left that industry was because I didn't feel like I was having a big impact. I didn't actually feel like I was helping the people that I really wanted to help. And then when I got into advertising, and particularly paid social, and I was growing people's small businesses alongside of them, that was incredibly rewarding. And then when I started to teach this stuff on my YouTube channel, I was having a massive impact in, ironically, some of the places where I had worked before. I ironically thought that my impact was more profound in the advertising industry, which often isn't correlated with being positive and having a positive impact. but it really was for my students and ultimately for me as well. My content creation process always starts with a question that a student has asked me, or even a question that I've had myself. A big part of my drive and purpose is pulling back the curtain and trying to show people the behind the scenes of how advertising works so that they can apply it to their own businesses and grow. I have a running list in my notes app of all the questions I get asked on a daily basis, and those are the things that ultimately become videos on my YouTube channel or lessons in my course. My life has completely changed because of Teachable. Because my sales and a part of my revenue is completely on autopilot, I no longer have that financial worry, and that is honestly something that really burdened me as a young person. So I get really excited when I see young people starting to put out digital products, little offerings, and big courses, because I'm like, yes, I had such a negative connotation with launching a course, and it gave me this cringy feeling for a long time, and that was my own battle. And I'm so glad that I just decided to be like, you know what, I'm gonna launch this course even though I'm a little bit uncomfortable with it, because ultimately it's unlocked the type of impact that I have with my students, but it's also candidly unlocked a level of financial success that I never thought was possible.